am your father, Luke.
No! Run, R2-D2, run! Run! Oh. Hi guys, we're back with the practice test. Thanks for watching. Okay, here we go. So number 1 is going to be on the test, and it's not as hard as it looks, even though a lot of you got it wrong last time on the other test. It's a review. It's a 5-word review question. And so all it wants you to do is simplify. And so it just wants you to find the GCF. Just wants you to find the greatest common factor. And then it just wants you to divide all 3 terms. Divide all 3 terms. Yes, they are all divisible by 2, even 4. But what's the greatest? What's the GCF? What's the greatest? It is 12. It is 12. And so we're going to divide it by 12, divide it by 12, divide all 3 terms by 12. And 24 divided by 12 is 2x plus 36 divided by 12 is 3. 48 divided by 12 is 4x. And that's our answer. But Mr. Newell, can I cancel the x's? Well, I guess you could if you wanted to kill a kitten. Wow! Every time you kill the x's, the kitten dies. Oh. So make sure that you don't do it. Yeah, so can't cancel with addition or subtraction, right? Yeah, you can do it with multiplication, but not addition or subtraction. So that's just our answer. And then the answer for number 2, what are the exclusions of the same rational expression? So the exclusions is what makes it go to 0 at the bottom, right? Can't divide by 0. Can't divide by 0. Whoa, just remembered my name drop. So we got some name drops going on right now. First of all, name drop to Aiden, who wanted to be name dropped. What up, Aiden? Thanks for helping 5 students today in class. Woo! Also name drop to CJ, as well as Wyatt. CJ and Wyatt. Woo! Don't forget Bodie. Yeah, Bodie. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching my video. Name drop to you. Anybody else want to be name dropped?
Sure.
Yeah, name drop Alicia. Name drop? Name drop Isaac. Okay, so name drop some people there. Thanks for being on the video here. And so when we're doing number 2 right now, number 2, we can't divide by 0. So what you do is you set it not equal to, set the bottom not equal to 0. Now we give our exclusions. Right now we have multiplication, not addition or subtraction. So if you think the answer is negative 48, you are wrong. What do you mean? Well, divide by 48 to the other side, divide by 48 to the other side. Oh, 48, so 0 divided by 48 is just 0. The exclusions are 0. Just like on the test. Exclusion 0. Exclusion is 0. Remember, if you have a number next to a letter and there's times, it's just 0. 0 times any number is 0. It's not the opposite sign. The opposite sign is when you have, like, I don't know, x plus 48 in the bottom, right? That's when you use the negative number. Okay, number 3. Did you get it right? Make sure you pause me. I'm waiting. You gotta try it on your own. Stop just watching and copying. That's wrong. You're gonna fail the test. Make sure you pause me. I'm waiting. Okay, try number 3 on your own. So we are going to set the top and the bottom equal to 0. Now don't forget, if there's an equal sign, remember, in some of your note card, if there's an equal sign, that means that the top is going to be a closed hole, which means we are going to include it. And that means that there'll be like a bracket, you know what I mean? A bracket means to include it. Now the bottom, which is x plus 4, so the bottom, which is x plus 4, always and forever, each moment with you. Whoa. So the bottom is always an open hole, because you can't have negative 4 on the bottom, because that would make it go to 0, can't divide by 0. So bottom is always an open hole and always a parentheses. The bottom is always a parentheses. The top is a parentheses, and the bottom is a parentheses if it's like less than or greater than. Then both top and bottom, both top and bottom are parentheses. It's only a bracket if there's an equal to. So now we're going to go ahead and add 9 to the other side, and we get x equals 9. And then we're going to minus 4 to the other side, and we get x equals negative 4. And now we're going to do a number line. Number line. And so now we're going to go ahead and do a number line. Now remember, negative numbers go first. So we have a number line, and we have negative 4, and we have 9. Cool. So now you're going to choose a test point. You only have to do one, and then alternate the signs. Choose a test point. So we have our test points, and my favorite test point is 0, right? When x equals 0, because 0 just makes things go away, and that's fun. So our original problem is x minus 9 over x plus 4. And now, wherever we see an x, we're going to plug in a test point of 0. And now, do we get a negative number, or do we get a positive number? Well, we get negative 9 over 4, which is a negative number. I'm going to start teaching it that way so I don't confuse people. This is a negative number. What does negative number mean? Negative number means that all these numbers right here, all these numbers are going to be negative. Negative numbers between negative 4 and 9 are all our negative numbers. Then you alternate. What are you talking about? Well, if these are negative numbers between negative 4 and positive 9, to the right of that will be positive numbers. Because it alternates. If you look at the graph, it alternates above and below the x-axis. Remember sign chart? Above and below the x-axis, sign chart. And so where are our negative numbers? Oh, it's asking now, last but not least, it's asking for negative and positive numbers. Well, we look at this thing. We look at this thing, what does that tell us? Well, this means that it's asking for what? You should say it before me. This means it's asking for all positive or negative solutions. What do you think? All positive or negative solutions? Well, it says less than 0, so what are numbers less than 0? Well, negative 1 is less than 0. Negative 2 is less than 0. Oh, negative. It's asking for negative numbers, all negative solutions. So now we go back to our number line, and we're looking for all negative solutions. And we see that between negative 4 and 9, we have negative solutions. We have negative numbers. So that means we're going to go from negative 4 to 9. Now, the only other thing we need to know is it a bracket or is it a parentheses? Well, it was an equal to, and 9 was on the top with an equal to. So that means that 9 gets the closed hole, and that means that 9 gets the brackets. And then negative 4 is on the bottom, always open hole for negative 4 for the bottom, and that means it gets the parentheses. So our answer is negative 49. Woo! Get an ace on the test, you got this. So now we jump to number 4. Do you remember how to find the vertical asymptote? Set the bottom equal to 0. Let the bottom hit the floor. What? Set the bottom equal to 0. We get a positive 2. Horizontal asymptote. Remember? Powers are the same. What does it mean when the powers are the same? It means you use the invisible numbers in front. 1 over 1. So 1 over 1, because there's an invisible number 1 in front, so our whole asymptote is just 1. So that means that we have a vertical asymptote at 2, and a horizontal asymptote at 1. Very nice. Good. Horizontal at y equals 1, not 0, hallelujah. Did anything cancel on the top and bottom? No, if nothing canceled, then factored and canceled on the top and the bottom, then you don't have any holes. No discontinuities. To find the x-intercept then, we do set y equal to 0, good. We do set y equal to 0 for the x-intercept. And for the y-intercept, we do set x equal to 0, the opposite letter. Opposite letter equal to 0. Right? Because that's x and that's y. And so when we do that, technically the bottom's going to go away, and we're actually just going to set the top equal to 0 for the x-intercept, technically. So we get top equal to 0, which is x plus 3 is equal to 0, and minus 3 to the other side. And so we get an x-intercept of negative 3. Negative 3 zeros right there. Then the y-intercept, we set x equal to 0. Okay. Well, to set x equal to 0, we take our equation, simplest form, x plus 3 over x minus 2. Pause me. You do have your own first. And whenever you see a 0, you're going to plug in, or whenever you see an x, you're going to plug in 0. So we get 3 halves, negative 3 halves. So we get a negative 3 halves. Negative can go on the top or the bottom of the canvas. I'll accept either answer. Good. How do we find the domain? Well, we got to graph it first, and we have to graph our y-intercept. What was our y-intercept? 0, negative 3 halves. What was our y-intercept? Well, technically, 3 halves is like what? It's approximately, it's negative 1.5. So we're going to go down here to 1.5, and that's our y-intercept. Y-intercept. And now we're going to go along the asymptotes, through the x-intercept, through the y-intercept, along the other asymptote. Is our graph. And then this asymptote, then remember the top right diagonal of that will be the rest of the graph following the asymptotes. And you can do a test point if you're not sure. Test point. So maybe you could choose a test point of 4 or 5, I don't know, whatever you choose. Let's say we choose 4. And so if we plug 4 into the equation, x plus 3 over x minus 2, if you choose a test point of 4, well, that means we get 4 plus 3 is 7, over 4 minus 2 is 2, and that's a positive number. So that means we're at 7 halves, which is 3.5. So over 4 up to 3.5. Ooh, we were off with our graph a little. That's okay, I won't judge you, don't judge me. So there's our graph. So that proves that 7 halves y value with the test points. We said x equals 4 as a test point. And we got 7 halves, which is 3.5. That just means we're above. Just go diagonal. Go diagonal. Okay, domain. So no hole to worry about in our domain. So that means it's just all real numbers. Except for what? All real numbers. Except x can't equal this. Do you remember? There's no longer graph, all real numbers. Oh, the asymptote at 2. And then we have the rest of our graph. So all real numbers except x can't equal 2. Ooh! Do you remember how to do the sign chart? Do you remember how to do the sign chart? Sign chart, here we go. So where is it below the x-axis and where is it above the x-axis? So we're below the x-axis here. Uh-oh, wait a second, this just tricked me. This just tricked me. Because we have an x-intercept at what? At negative 3 was our x-intercept. And so technically, I know it's below the asymptote, but it is above the x-axis and then below the x-axis. Let's do it in a different color. Green. So here we're above, barely above the x-axis, then below the x-axis down here, and then above the x-axis. So our sign chart for this one would be above, and then below, and then above again. And so it changes. Where does it change from above to below? It changes at the x-intercept. It changes at the x-intercept. Where does it also change? Well, it goes at negative 3, it goes above, negative 3, then below, then vertical asymptote, and then above. So it's going to be the vertical asymptote is where the other number is. For the sign chart, I don't think you have to enter all into the canvas. I think it asks you for less information on canvas, but I just wanted to make this practice test more comprehensive for you. So that's why I included doing all of it. But I think it only asks for the 3 or 4 things, actually. Okay, number 5.